I am very excited to share with you after a very powerful day recording a wide variety of percussion instruments with some of my favorite percussionists in the world and some truly dear friends. It was a day that was dedicated to immersive array recording with this 11-channel microphone array of Schoeps MK4s, 7+4, and how that can integrate into a jazz overdub style production. And it was nothing short of inspiring. I'll start with what the center of the day is and where it began, which is wanting to capture immersively the batá, the Cuban batá drums. In the Afro-Cuban tradition, the batá drums are 3 drums, the smallest one being okonkolo, second being itotele, and the largest being the iya. My brother Derek Gray, as well as Adam Teixeira, who are both performing today, have spent a great deal of time living in Cuba, studying batá drumming with Cuban masters. The batá are played, as I mentioned, in 3 drums, and they're played in a very specific arrangement. And the language of those 3 drums playing at once is a very powerful feeling. And so the goal was to capture that acoustically in a way that translates to the listener. And so what we spent a lot of time doing is situating and figuring out how to position the batá players around the array in a way that's suited, sort of an authentic representation of how it sounds, which is strong and powerful. And also the way that when you listen to batá, it's spread out. The 3 players are spread out. And so you actually have this experience, this highly immersive experience listening to it. And so we really wanted to capture that. So we positioned the batá sort of in the, I'd say like the wide surround position, the center position, and the other wide surround position. Also with spot mics, Schoeps MK41s and AKG 414s, all in hypercardioid, so that we can use them like classical spots to, bring the transient in. But the array is doing the majority of the work here. And just like in the great immersive classical traditions, the idea of spacing everybody according to their volume and their role in the performance around the array has been the theme of the day. What's a little different, though, is that once we finished the batá recording, they were in headphones with click track playing over the song, we then used the array to build an immersive percussion ensemble. And so what I set out to do with the engineer Alex Gamble, who did a brilliant job engineering today, is to capture overdubs using this array to create the effect of an ensemble of 20 people or more standing around this array with various percussionist instruments, but to have the control later on, like in a pop production, to edit, splice, manipulate rhythm, if necessary. Also manipulate amount of reverb, essentially using spot mics as the closest mic to the instrument in the array and then lowering or raising others, not always using all of the mics in the array. But right now, there's about 20 plus layers in the session in the studio on top of the batá. So really, really interesting opportunity. And some of the instruments we played, we have caixa, which is it's a Brazilian instrument. There's various tambourines, lots of handshakers of different sizes and tonalities. Xecere, And probably the most exciting thing of the day was getting up on a ladder and using shakers, goat nails, and other instruments in the height channels natively. So my brother and I in one take were standing on chairs with shakers above the height channels and making a layer of percussion in that space to be put in that space. Even going as far as occasionally doing some panning around, on various things, trying, again, needs to be edited down, but experimenting with using an array in that way is an absolute dream. It sounds really cool. It feels cool. And again, I look forward to sort of further mixing and producing with it. Capturing height information intentionally that way is something that's very exciting to me. And of course, very hyper real, but that's sort of the intent of the day. It seems like it'd be a nightmare to have, 11, at this point, like at least well over 200 tracks just for a percussion intro. With everything properly phase aligned into the millennias, with the Schoeps, into the, Digital Audio Denmark converters at 96K, in this really quiet, beautiful sounding room, there's no noise floor issues. I'm actually surprised at how usable it is already just pressing play. And it's such a different feeling. I don't mean better or worse, I just mean different than anyone who's produced records or played on records knows the idea of, okay, let's get a shaker take, put up a 184 or put up, something, play into it, get a shaker, okay, get another one, play a shaker, let's pan them left and right. Boom, there's our percussion tracks. I mean, some of the best music in the world has been made that way. That feeling of closeness is possible if I lower the other array channels, but when everything is at unity, which it is right now, because I haven't got into editing or mixing yet, it just sounds like you're in the room, and there's no major noise floor buildups because of the quality of the gear in the room. It's a fascinating experiment. I look forward to mixing it. I look forward to finding the advantages and the disadvantages and the challenges from it. But honestly, I'm in awe of the feeling of realism because every instrument is getting its full capture and relationship with the room is being translated into the recording. And I think it has changed my perspective on overdubbing and using immersive arrays in this context forever. Again, there's still editing to do, there's still discovery to be had, but I wanted to document this now at this stage because I find it very, very exciting. And we were able to build something that, as of now, feels like there was an entire ensemble in the room with all of the advantages of editing and being able to, cut and paste things and potentially move them throughout the tune after the fact. Yeah, really exciting day with all of this immersive content and trying to really see how this technology can serve the musical vision. So enjoy the music, everyone. Thank you.